Okay, everyone, welcome to the show. Hope you guys are doing good. Me and this dog here are doing good. I know you guys can't see the dog unless you can see that slight bit of a tail that's wagging down there, and maybe this snoot that is popping up, this little snoot that's right here. I don't know if you guys can see that thing or not, but anyway, that's a dog snoot. So let me give you guys a little bit of real estate advice for 2023. And I don't actually like being in the advice giving business because I think it's just, I don't know. I feel like everyone's in that business and I don't really like that business. But let me give you a little bit of advice that I believe to be very accurate. I was watching a speech. There's a very famous speech from a very famous investor. His name is Peter Lynch. Now, he's not talking about the real estate market. He's really talking about stocks. But there's a lot of correlation that we can draw between the stock market and the real estate market, right? And he was, he ran a fund called Magellan back in the day. It was like a, kind of a legendary run that he had running that fund. But I'm going to show you a little clip here, and he was really speaking in regards to investing during a recessionary period. So let's go ahead and roll that.
Stocks are not lottery tickets. There's a company behind every stock. If a company does well, the stock does well. It's not that complicated. People get too carried away. And first of all, they try and predict the stock market. That is a total waste of time. No one can predict the stock market. They try to predict interest rates. If anybody would predict interest rates right 3 times in a row, there'd be a billionaire. Considering there's not that many billionaires on the planet, there can't be that many people who can predict interest rates because there'd be lots of billionaires. And no one can predict the economy. I had a lot of people in this room were around in 1981 and 82 when we had a 20% prime rate with double-digit inflation, double-digit unemployment. I don't remember anybody telling me in 1981 about it. I studied all this stuff. I don't remember anybody telling me we're going to have the worst recession since the Depression. But I'm trying to tell you it'd be very useful to know what the stock market's going to do. It'd be terrific to know that the Dow Jones average a year from now would be X, that we're going to have a full-scale recession, or interest rate's going to be 12%. That's useful stuff. You never know it, though. You just don't get to learn it. So I've always said if you spend 14 minutes a year on economics, you've wasted 12 minutes. And I really believe that.
Okay, so what's the message of that clip? The message is very clear. No one knows what's going to happen, right? And when the smartest guys in the room are going, we don't know what's going to happen. The chairman of the Federal Reserve doesn't know what's going to happen, right? You go, you need to listen to that because that's someone who is saying, look, you remember the crash of 82? No one told me about it in 81. Why? Because no one knows. Like, no one knows, right? So you need to listen to that. So what can we learn about it in regards to the real estate world? Really this, buying, selling property, much like buying, selling stocks, right? Not that I'm in any position to talk to you about buying and selling stocks, but like it's the same thing, which is there is a tremendous amount of luck of the draw. Like you'll see how you do when you see how you do. Like you don't really know when you buy something, like you might know, is it down now? Oh, you should know that. Is it down now compared to where it was 6 months, 12 months ago? Or is it up? But it's like, you don't really know. Like, is it at the top of a climb? Is it at the bottom of a dip? Like, you don't know, right? And you're never going to know that because no one can predict the future. So we look at the buying and the selling side. The one benefit you have on the selling side is you may have the option to say, hey, things are clearly down right now. Let me choose not to sell, and potentially I could just ride this out until it feels like it's a better climate because of interest rates or the home prices accumulate or whatever. Or you might have a number that you want to get to where you go, hey, look, I bought this house at $350. I'm not interested in selling it until I can get to $400, for example, right? As a seller, you may have that discretion to hold off on selling your house. On the buying side, you might say that same thing. Well, I can choose whether I want to buy or not right now. You can, but there's, you're playing with fire way more on the buying side, right? Because if we look at like what is unpredictable and what is predictable, here's the conclusion that we can come to. Let's start with what's predictable. If you said, hey, what's going to happen to the whether stock market, real estate market over the next the window of 10 to 40 years, right? It's a big spread, right? But it's a long time from now, 10 to 40 years. You go, we don't know, but it's almost, just based on data and history, we can bet with a reasonable level of confidence that 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, things are going to be higher than they are right now. Hence, if you bought something right now, a decade from now, you'd be like, yeah, I did pretty good because I was in the game for a long time. That's the predictable. The unpredictable is if you said, tell me what's going to happen 1 to 3 years from now. No clue. No clue. And anyone, including all these idiot experts, as I like to call them, who talk to you on the MSNBCs and everything with all these predictions. I don't know if you guys have connected the dots on this, but they are in the entertainment business. Call it what it is. They're not in the news business. They're in the entertainment business, AKA ratings. That's what they care about, right? If ratings is what you need, then I have to entertain you long enough to keep you around. It's not about educating you. I can give a shit about if you're educated. I need to keep you on the platform. Therefore, you need to be entertained. So if we say, hey, look, I got the secret sauce. I know what's going to happen a year from now. You stay on the platform. So you have to, one, stop listening to these idiot experts because they're not experts. They're in the business of keeping you on the channel longer. But 1 to 3 years from now, no one knows what's going to happen. Like, no one knows. 10 to 40 years from now, it's a long time. And like within that period of time, we go, yeah, there's a level of predictability to that. So what does the message become in regards to being a buyer? The sooner you're in the game, the better. Because the sooner you can start plotting along towards that 10 to 40 years. The sooner you are in the game, the better. That is the whole point to the whole thing. 10 to 40 years, predictable. 1 to 3 years, no clue. And anyone who tells you they have a clue is a fucking liar, okay? A little dark ending there. Sorry, I just run hot sometimes, guys. It's just, comes with the DNA around here. So I hope you guys are doing well. If you need real estate help, let us know. We would love to help you. I am based here in Salt Lake, as is the business, but we work with people all over the country. So if you like this sort of no bullshit vibe when it comes to real estate, we would love to help you. You can just go to 1911syndicate.com, reach out to us. Appreciate it if you guys subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.